7 Brigade is Brisbane's local brigade and is committed to supporting the local community through employment opportunities, through training for disaster relief missions, and through our support to community organisations such as Wounded Heroes. Wounded Heroes is the charity that will be supported this weekend by both 7th Brigade and the Brisbane Lions, and we look forward to supporting them over the weekend. This week we have obviously our 100-year commemoration of the ANZAC campaign in the Gallipoli Peninsula. This was a campaign that actually featured 7th Brigade itself, and today, Dan, I'm here to hand to you a jersey which holds the logos of both the Australian Army's Rising Sun and the 7th Brigade logo, being the 7th Brigade here in Brisbane. We consider that we have a very unique affiliation with Brisbane Lions, and Brisbane Lions being the only AFL club that holds a unique affiliation with an Army brigade. So Dan, I hope you're able to draw this weekend on the qualities born in ANZAC of courage, mateship, endurance and sacrifice, and you're able to determine a good result this weekend.
Nice.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you just on behalf of the boys. Thanks for coming out today. As you can see, it's a cracking jumper. We're excited to wear it. It's a massive honour, obviously as players, to be able to represent such an amazing thing. To us, you guys are the heroes. You guys put your body on the line in a different way to us. So we're just extremely honoured to wear a great jumper, and obviously for a great rich history of what it's all about. And as you mentioned, all the funds from these jumpers goes to a fantastic cause as well. So we're excited to represent not only our footy club but you guys as well this weekend. So thanks a lot for your support.
Cheers, Dan.
Thank you.
Mate, it's pretty special seeing the logo on a Guernsey.
Yes, indeed, and it's a very unique opportunity to do so. Brisbane Lions will be the only organisation this weekend that do in the AFL, and certainly to see our logo, which means a lot to soldiers, both past and present, represented by the footy players whom many of us admire, is a great honour.
So last year you guys had a good result when you pulled on the jersey. Does it sort of make you look to be guys?
Oh, it's a massive honour, yeah. Hearing the last post for you, it's the kind of last thing you kind of hear before you head out and get stuck into it. Is it's pretty kind of sends a few tingles down the spine, to be honest. But yeah, this time last year was our first win, gave us a little bit of a kickstart. So hopefully, same thing happens this year.
What's it like, I guess, with that last post moment? You're in a massive stadium, there's a big crowd, and the last post rings out, and you guys, go to play a game. What's the feeling in the place like?
Yeah, it's extremely unique. It only happens kind of once a year, so it's a massive privilege to be able to, I suppose, hear that before you run out. And obviously, it's much more meaning behind that that we kind of take into account as well. So and the 100-year anniversary as well is another thing on top of that.
Any in your family, any armed forces history at all? Any sort of connection with armed forces?
No, mum's dad was in the Navy, so I've heard a few stories from him. But you can just imagine how tough it was for those guys. So it makes what we do seem easy.
Can it help you, I guess, so you're trying to hit back from a tough game hit out yourselves? Can that little bit of extra thing possibly be a help for you guys to bounce back?
Yeah, well, that's the thing with footy. You can take little bits from here and there. Obviously, a massive occasion, massive history in our nation. So it's going to be a big game, not only for the club, but the fact that it's ANZAC weekend as well. So you can look back and see what the boys went through and what they still go through today, and kind of draw on that.
Mate, do you think you're asked to give them final address before they run on at all, inside the sheds at all?
Oh, look, I think that the Brisbane Lions will have their own prep squared away for the weekend, and whilst I consider that the contribution of the notion of the commemoration is important, and we will have a presence here on the day, I consider that it will only just be a short and minor extra motivating factor to them in their preparation.
Well, hopefully I don't have to, and Rocky's playing, to be honest. But I think if he's not there, that was the plan, to rotate between myself and Zorks.
How likely is that? Can you give a percentage on how likely he is to be back?
I haven't seen him around today, but knowing him, he'll be pretty keen. But I think we'll have to tick a few boxes during the week in terms of the contact and that side of things, just to make sure he's ready. Because at the end of the day, his kind of health and well-being is more important than coming back a week early.
It's an amazing recovery, isn't it? Even if it's next week, it's still a huge recovery for such a big injury like that, isn't it?
Yeah, he's done everything he can so far. He's obviously a tough bugger to go through that, and yeah, we'll soon see how he goes.
It was another disappointing loss the other night, Dan, but especially that final quarter. I guess you've discussed what happened in that last quarter, do you think?
Yeah, we haven't had our official review as yet today. It's still to come, but it was disappointing to kind of finish the game in that way. We showed against Collingwood a little bit of fight a few weeks back, but yeah, disappointing to finish the last quarter in that way. But something we'll kind of assess and look to improve on.
Did you drop your heads, or did you just run out of legs a bit? Or was it...
Oh yeah, probably a bit of both, to be honest. But yeah, it shouldn't be happening. It's below standard, below par. We know that, so something we need to rid out of our games.
Leper said after the game that obviously without Rocky and Pearce, like you're missing some leadership, but he probably didn't see a heap on the field the other night. How does that make you feel, and what can you do about, I guess, improving that in the coming years?
Yeah, it's obviously not something that you want to hear, to be honest, but that shows where we need to improve as a group. There's every guy on the field's got to be their own own leader to the group in a different way, whether they're just bringing enthusiasm as a first-year player or actually setting guys up using their voice and that type of stuff. But that's the kind of things we've got to improve on to make ourselves a better team. The top teams do it, so there's no excuses. Yeah.
Mate, Greg Swan said yesterday he's sort of resigned to losing Aishi, or you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that it's not heading in the right direction. Are you guys resigned to losing it?
Oh, those things are kind of out of the players' hands, to be honest. We're just focused on doing what we can and preparing for the game week in, week out. So I suppose the upper levels and the coaching staff and list managers and that kind of stuff will take care of that, and that'll take care of itself in time as well. So us as boys and players, we're just focusing on what we can kind of control.
There's been a bit of talk about maybe upping the first contract for draftees from 2 to 3 years or beyond that. Like keeping in that position yourself. Like, what do you think about that sort of suggestion?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I suppose if guys are happy and if guys want to stay, you've seen it with us. We've pretty much all the guys in his draft have stayed and have signed and extended. So I think that kind of takes care of itself. So there's no, either way, it doesn't bother me too much.